What is up, YouTube? That's here. I'm back playing more VGC 2023 Regulation C content. Team fixing time is live. This is the very first team from Patreon they're going to be fixing. You guys can send in your own teams as well. Like I said, the official post is up here. Even the lowest tier of Patreon, the $2 tier, gets access to this post, all my other teams, as well as like pretty much daily posts on Patreon where I post different teams and different ideas for the format that show unique Pokemon that don't normally get put on YouTube. So if you've ever been interested, I've said it once, I've said it before, subscribing to the Patreon for 1 month at the $2 tier helps me out than watching literally every single video on this channel in terms of how much that monetarily supports me. So think about checking out the Patreon, think about sending me your teams, and I'll do my very best to fix all of them. I'm pretty sure we got to all of them last month, so I'm doing my absolute best to make these into as many videos as possible to help as many people as possible learn the format. This first team we're going to be taking a look at, though, is from Joseph. They had a rental code for it, they had a Pokepaste for it. They said they just took this team to Fort Wayne Regionals and they didn't do very good, so they want me to take a look at it. They said they struggled with very standard cores, they struggled being able to close out games, and then the Ruined Mons gave them some problems. So this very first team, you can see already, if we take a look at the Pokepaste, it needs some work in the EVs department. The team doesn't really have that much speed control, and then some of the items like the King's Rock here, the Assault Vest here, these can definitely be optimized. Let's take a look at the actual rental code, and I'm so happy that they actually sent this team in because I think this is the perfect team for showing how you can take something that's so close to being good, make a few changes, hopefully by the end of this video, and then actually end up with a team that can like climb the ladder, get to Master Ball easy, and then actually give you the tools to fight against better players so you can learn the meta better so you can potentially make better teams for yourself in the future. So we're going to be using this team first, and I think that there are a bunch of changes we can make. Item changes, EV changes, and maybe changing out one of the Pokemon can make this team actually shine. So if you guys like these sort of videos where I fix people's teams, use them in games, do a mixture of like in-game battles and showdown fixings with some damage calcs in the back end, let me know, because we're trying to get every single video to about 100 likes. I know it's a huge ask, but like I want it, and I think I'm excited to make good content to get it. So if you guys want to help me out, think about leaving a like on the video. Think about answering the question today. Let me know if you guys like these videos. And without further ado, let's get right on into this and see if we can fix up this regionals team. Wish me luck. Here we go. Okay, Lilycole Roaring Moon. No Paradox Mons in this one, but very, very cool stuff. I still like the Glimmora on that side. We don't have any Poison Mons to get rid of those spikes. So we're going to have to break that thing with special attacks unless we just one-shot it and let our last two Mons get poison, which it wouldn't be great, but it is what it is. I really wish this team had a Sash. I feel like anytime you want to be using defensive items like an AV or even a Covert Cloak in a lot of situations or safety goggles and you're not using your Sash, you should probably be using your Sash. If you're trying to mitigate damage in any way, the Sash is the ultimate form of damage mitigation. So let's see, Serena also makes us really, really hard to deal with. We could probably get away with, like, I think you have to bleed Maushold here because you can redirect Sleep Powders and redirect after use, and then from there, we can probably get away with something like Flutter. I just don't really like Flutter versus, what is that? The Glimmora over there. It's just not my jam. We could bring Chi-Yu in the back here, and unfortunate, but I think we have to bring Shenpao. I don't really like Shenpao in this matchup at all. It can't really hit like anything. It has like Ice Shard, Ice Spinner, Sacred Sword, which is very, very not great, especially against things like Serena. But the Annihilape and Grimmsnarl's EV spreads that were submitted are basically unusable. I would say almost unusable. I would say, like, with how that's wasting too many points for my taste. Maybe they're still usable like a little bit, but I feel realistically that you'd be hard pressed to find any actual value of using those. So we're gonna go with these four for the first one, and hopefully we're able to make something work. And we're definitely gonna fix all these EVs at the end and show you how you could definitely optimize them to be somewhat usable in some situations. So again, we're using Maushold against Lilycole because it redirects the After You and it redirects Sleep Powder. So anything that Lilligant really wants to go for, this is going to do a really good job of just turning it off, and we can just Power Gem into that Torkoal slot easy peasy. If they wanted to go for like a Grass Terra, Leaf Storm into our Maushold, they might be able to get a lot of damage into us, but we should be fine. Just go for the big Follow Me, and you did a really good job of submitting this team with a Safety Goggles Maushold. It's like probably the best item for this Pokemon. What's our Terra on? We have Fairy Terra? We don't really need it. We just need to soften up the Torkoal. So follow me here. Let's see what move the Lilligant goes for. I would probably go for After You here, but let's see. Nothing. It's just going for... Oh, it's slower than me too. Huh. That works. Leech Seed Lilligant. What the? Hey, you know what? Pop off. Pop off. I can't do it. Rocks Torkoal? What? Hello? What are these my games? I'm trying to teach people how to be the best VGC players possible, and we're legit going up against... Okay. That's a VGC team! That ain't no singles team! What even is this, bro? This is still fine. There's nothing really worth using here, then. I guess you would just beat up into that slot and go for, like, a Mystical Fire into it just to get it off the board. If you want to protect, I think this is fine. If you want to yawn, I'll pivot. But, like, we don't have any sashes, so it doesn't really matter. It's going to break the... Oh, it's just going to KO. What item were you? Were you that... What is that? Like, were you Big Root, bro? Yeah, Mousel's not going to get any KOs. We were just doing that. We were doubling up with that to get the KO on, when it was like 1 HP from a sash. You could have also potentially had like Super Fang on this set, and Super Fang would have gotten that same KO as well. The big overheat's not going to get the KO. It's not. And so we're actually going to ignore that Torkoal slot for the remainder of the game, because it's super, super useless now. Oh, actually he pivots. Eject Pack. It's a cool set. That's the singles set. It's crazy how this person is just playing a singles game in VGC. We're gonna make them learn today. You gonna learn today how this stuff doesn't work. There's a Serena. That's fine. We're just gonna redirection. I think like we could Mystical Fire that and probably get the KO. Note that we are putting our AV to work. We ate that very well on Flutter. Ooh. They haven't terrored yet. I actually think what we're going to do is just follow me. I think it's absolutely fine to still just follow me here. And I think it's technically better to go after the Sarah Ledge with the Power Gem, just because we have Shen Pao to be able to Ice Shard, or sorry, Ice Spinner the Serena. So I'm going to do that. And hopefully it works. They can totally go Terra. Looks like they're not, which means this is going to hit hard. It might get the KO. Shadow Sneak. We are a normal type. These two are very, very good together. Big Power Gem. Big damage. Oh my goodness, that's so much damage. And high jump kick. Hey, that's totally, totally fine. Next turn, we're probably going to have to terrestrialize our Flutter. We don't want to send out Shen Pao here and shred our own defense. We definitely don't want to do that. Is that Lefties? Lefties is one of my favorite item choices on that guy as well. So good play from our opponent. We have these two plus the Torkoal to deal with. I think Chiyu's going to be great here. We can just go for like a Dark Pulse into the Sarah Ledge slot, because realistically they'd be terrestrializing into probably Steel in most situations. So like the Dark Pulse will be able to get that KO. We'd still have speed. It'd hit for neutral damage there, and then we're going to be free to Terrestrialize Fairy here to make sure we don't die to the Shadow Sneak, and just go for... We could even Dazzling them if we wanted to, but I don't think there's an issue with just Mystical Firing the Sun. It's just a lot of damage. Oh, do we want to play on Ally Switch? We're actually just going to go for the Dazzling Gleam. It's completely fair to go for the Dazzling Gleam, I think. Just in case something weird happens. It's good damage, and we don't want to play into the Ally Switch. Like, I would hate to give that guy a Flash Fire proc. That'd be super lame. But I do think that the Mystical Fire could have definitely KO'd the Serena through the Shred. I wonder if they're going to go, like, Protect Sarah Ledge. If they go Protect Sarah Ledge and High Jump Kick my Chiyu, that could be really bad. But they are going to be Terrestrializing here, because then I'd have to send out the Shen Pao, and then I'd have to Shred my defense, which would put me within range for the Shadow Sneak, probably. Terrestrialize, what is that? Fairy. Cool. So this is just good damage, then. Let's get the Ally Switch. That'd be really funny. Shadow Sneak. Cool, cool. Shouldn't get the KO. Yep, and so that's us losing that weakness to Ghost. Dazzling's going to hit hard here. We already know that it's leftovers on the Sarah Ledge, so they're not going to be able to do that much there. We didn't want a Heat Wave either. High Jump Kick does connect. They do take us out. That's actually really bad. That Serena outspeeds our Chiyu. I very, very, very much dislike that. That is probably going to be a loss. And so, again... Do we have EVs? Like, what? Serena shouldn't even be able to outspeed Chiyu. Is it Scarfed? It's probably Scarfed. Like, we have EVs, right? I mean, but you can see how we have that calm nature. We have that calm nature on a full speed set. It's just not the jam. And we can't go for anything weird. Let's think about what we need to do to win this. Pointed Stones. This is just not a good look for us. I think this is an L. Because, like, they're going to go... They're going to go High Jump Kick into the Shen Pao. And they're going to go Shadow Sneak into the Flutter. Flutter can't protect itself since it's vested. We can't go Ice Shard. We can protect to block the high jump kick and get the KO, but then we lose to the Torkoal plus like Armarouge or Ceruledge in the back. We can hope that they miss the high jump kick and go for an Ice Spinner into the Ceruledge. That's probably our only shot, is hoping that they miss that. Maybe they'll swap. Shadow Sneak goes into the Flutter Mane. Again, I cannot stop that. And let's see. Again, if I protected here and they miss the high jump, because I think they're scarfed, right? We just have to hope that they miss. We are faster, so we can KO this guy, right? Oh, we didn't get the KO. That's probably just gonna be enough. It was just right there. And they hit the high jump kick, and we take the L. And so, very, very like good example of how this team kind of functions. You get a decent lead, a decent board state, but then like you can't bring this Pokemon. Its EVs are wasting so many points. You can't bring this Pokemon. Its EVs are wasting so many points. Realistically, like this definitely needs a lot of work. And then like this is okay, but the item's wrong. This is okay, but the item's wrong. This is okay, but the EVs and the natures are wrong. So there's a bunch of things that we still can fix, and we'll play a couple more games, and then we'll go into fixing them. Okay, Gholdengo Amoonguss. I realistically think you need to bring Maushold to deal with like Amoonguss teams, or at least have it as like a pivot. Again, not all these mons have Protect, so it's really hard to go like Protect, Hard Switch in the Maushold to block the spores and then be able to redirect forever. So that's kind of hard. That being said, I don't think there's an issue with leading Mouseape here, and if there was a board where your Mouseape could work, it's definitely this one. From there, I think that bringing something like Chi-Yu is probably pretty good for breaking the Gholdengo, and then I would bring Flutter here. I do think that we're gonna low-key struggle with closing out this game. Similar to last one, I feel like this team has good lead options, but after the first couple turns, basically once the Maushold goes down, the fact that we don't have the right items, we don't have the right EV spreads, it definitely makes it so opponents can like capitalize, get back into the game, and then we're too one-dimensional with the rest of our mons to be able to actually like outplay them in the late game. I think that's probably the biggest problem this team has is it just needs to be slightly optimized. That's all. We'll fix it at the end. We're gonna win this one though. We're definitely gonna win this one. I think Ape could work here. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's see if they lead Arcanine. No Arcanine. So they lead Amoonguss and Gholdengo. So we actually can still use like the redirection. We definitely still can redirect here. I don't think there's an issue with going like Rage Fist. I kind of want to go Steel Terra just so the Gholdengo can't just melt me with Rage Rain. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to go Rage Fist. I'm going to hit the Amoonguss slot. I'm going to hope it's not sashed. And I still can beat up through a Rage Powder, right? Because I have that safety goggles. And that's one of the reasons why you need safety goggles on Maushold most of the time. So I don't know if I need to Steel Terra right here, but I will Steel Terra here. And I think it's a fine play. So let's see what they're going to do. And again, we're hoping that that's not like Sash Amoonguss going for like Sash Spore into our Annihilape that could definitely still be Vital Spirit. That'd be such a reach from our opponent on turn 1. I think there's a better shot that it's just going to be like Rage Powdering or protecting the Gholdengo, yeah, and like having Gholdengo just pop off. We don't even need to respect Gholdengo. Amoonguss is the threat here because our team is so one-dimensional. So we should be able to absolutely pop this Amoonguss. Another reason why we see to protect Gholdengo, it means it could definitely still be Sash Amoonguss, and that would just be really hard to deal with. But let's see what we got. Survey says big Rage Fist, and they're gone. No Spore. Not today. Thank goodness. Holy moly. I was really thinking it was going to be that Sash Amoonguss. And, like, that's the most degenerate place when they have the Sash Amoonguss. Cool. For the rest of the game, we should just be able to go Redirection and just pop the rest of these mons. Like I said, this was probably the best example of how we could make Rage Fist and Annihilape work on this team. They're going to be able to fake out us if they want. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it just going for a double protect. And then, even if they wanted to read this and go for some sort of, like, Belly Drum, we would just respect that slot next turn. So definitely go for the double protect here. No reason to like overextend because again they can fake out our Annihilape since it is a Steel Terra right now. So we don't wanna let that guy pop off too hard. So big protect here. And this is where I would really like Super Fang on something like this on Maushold, being able to like go protect Super Fang and stuff like that would be really, really nice. I would definitely have clicked it. Making it rain, awesome. Let's see what the hand does. Is it gonna be Belly Drum or is it just like Drain Punch or Volt Switch? I wonder if they're gonna like side Volt Switch their Gholdengo to reset their Fega. That'd be kind of sick. Drain Punch, awesome. So we're just gonna respect that slot since that's the only one that can actually do any real damage to us. I think we can Oko. I think I'm gonna use another beat up. Might as well, right? Might as well go big or go home. Here we go. Ah, not protect. Holy moly. Yeah, we have a full attack Annihilape. I think we just Oko it. Let me think about it. I want to see. I just want to see. We could even Baby Doll Eyes and just hit the Gholdengo slot. That actually wouldn't be a bad play. It's not. You just Rage Fist into the Gholdengo and just Baby Doll Eyes the hands. It's probably a fine play. I like Super Fang here. It lets us play a little bit differently, but like Baby Doll Eyes is going to drop those stats. We should be outspeeding their Gholdengo, I think. Yeah, because that's one of the values of Ape. You have about 6 base speed on Gholdengo. So just dumpster that guy. We're going to be able to easy live the Drain Punch if they have it. Doesn't matter who they're really hitting. We have Friend. Yeah, we're super fine. And put our leftovers to work. We're in a great spot here. We got another tick of the Rage Fist. And so now we can just go redirection for the rest of the game and probably be fine. Surprised they didn't actually fake it last turn. They definitely could have. So let's see what they're going to bring out here. Roaring Moon. Okay. And they have not Terastallized yet, but that's probably going to be a Flying Terra from their side. So I think in this exact situation, I think if they are going to be Flying Terra, I could still Drain Punch that slot if I wanted. I could also just go like a Redirection Bulk Up. I could even just go for like a big Rage Fist into the hands and just go for like just a Follow Me, like a standard Follow Me. I want to see if it is, oh, battles cancel. We'll take the wins. There wasn't that much they could realistically do here. We had a good counter to them in the Safety Goggles Mouse Hold, and we just leaned into using the Annihilape. It kind of just did show that like, just because we have like suboptimal EVs on our Annihilape, we can still make it work. And what I mean by suboptimal EVs is normally you do still want to put some of these points into HP. And yeah, we have all, and we're also not going to lie, like this is wasting points here on the 126. You don't get anything for 126, but because it's still in a little bit of no man's land, you're not getting anything off those even numbers. We can definitely polish that up. We're going to play one more game, but it just shows that you don't need perfect Pokemon to win if you like set up the board state correctly. And so just because like I think there are things that this team can do better doesn't mean it's not unusable. So it's a good job so far. Okay, that's very aggressive. Shenpao Dragonite Mouseape with a little bit of Sandy Shock's Talonflame. I wonder what they're going to be trying to do here. It's a cool looking team though. We don't have any speed control, so we can try and set screens, but it won't be able to mitigate enough damage. I think realistically what we want to try and do is just roll them over. Something like this is probably going to be our best lead and just trade wins, like trade the board state, and then come out with something like this in the back with like a Mouseape to be a mouse to be able to like redirect the right things. It's probably going to be our best bet for winning this one. I don't think this is a good example of like this team's best matchup. I think one of the things they said in their like actual team submission was that the Rumons, like, yeah, they don't have any surprise factor, and they get overwhelmed by, like, all the Rumons and stuff like that. Was one of the things they said in their submission. So it's like, I think the Shenpao might give us a lot of issues here. Shenpao Talonflame, very, very big. We should be able to get one of these off the board, at least. But, like, I bet they just, like, Oko the crap out of our... I wouldn't be surprised if it was, like, a banded Talonflame, too. Shenpao outspeeds our Talonflame, though. We could actually do this. Ooh. We could technically just get their Talonflame off the board this first turn if we went like Power Gem there and Ice Shard to break their Gale Wings, because we're faster, right? We have like 7 base speed on them. We break their Gale Wings and then get it off the board because Flutter Mane is a higher base speed than Talonflame too. And then yes, we might lose one of our mons, but we might have speed control for the remainder of the game, which is actually what we need to win this. I definitely say that's worth it. Shenpao protects. Oh my gosh, this is so worth it. See, we're putting ourselves in the right position to win these games. No more Gale Wings for you, buddy. The reads that we need to succeed. Oh my goodness. That person said they wanted Tailwind. They said they wanted Tailwind, and I will deny you. Dragonite coming in here, and I would not be surprised if they have to Terra. In this situation, I will click the D-Wing because I feel it's probably the best that we have. And what do we have Terra here? Terra Fire. Okay, I don't know what that's for, but maybe to stop off area attacks. Not bad, not bad. I think in this case, I could go all in. And I think I will, to just respect this slot. Get the Shimp off the board. It's probably going to be Sash. Sucker Punch is a good option. It does get the Oko, bro! That's crazy how much damage that does. Is it? I don't even know how to explain that. We get the we're probably going to trade really well. That's going to be Sashed, right? And then we could Ice Shard that if we have to. And then Fire Punch. Yo, I should have Fire Terra. And see, this is where a Sash, you literally see the value of their Sash versus our Sash. And just like that, we're like low-key out of Pokemon. We have a Chi-Yu and a Maushold, but like we can't win. So we have absolutely no way to close out games. And you can see the value in something like a Sash and good defensive typing. Like the Flutter Mane should have been Sashed. The Shenpao could have been Sashed. We're literally seeing the situations where our mons could have traded effectively if we had those options. Now, you're saying, well, why didn't you just Terra your Flutter Mane or Terra your Shenpao then? It's like, how are we supposed to know that they have those options? That we're blocking Fire Punch on Dragonite? That we're blocking like all those things? There's no way that we really could have seen that coming. I think the only way that we can even think about coming back in this matchup is something like a beat up into there and maybe a protect. And we're just gonna try and see if we can force them into. Yeah, they're still playing really, really well to our opponent. So we're protecting. I want to see if they go like Stomping Tantrum or something. Fire Punch. Yeah, good play. Like absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's a good play from our opponent. We're gonna have to go like protect with our Maushold and go for like a Heat Wave burn. It'll KO the Shenpao, break the Dragonite. That's just the best that we have. You know, we don't really have any other options. Of course, we're still going to play to our outs, but you can see how this team has absolutely no steam after like the first turn because we have no way to trade effectively. None of our items actually help us trade with opponents. It basically just, we die, you know? This is a good play. This opponent played really well, though. I think that their team is very, very one-dimensional. They get their tail when they try and roll, but yeah, there's not that much we really do here. They're pivoting, which actually could be good for us if they come in and just lose them on here. Annihilate. Okay. And we could technically burn Annihilate. And we could always go Ghost Terra and, like, block a Drain Punch with, like, Redirection. So, like, we have shots. Yeah, see, like, we're blocking the Sucker Punch. Like, there are things here that are going to give us potential shots to win this game. We double hit the Heat Wave. If we could burn that Annihilate, that'd be kind of nice. Not gonna lie, it'd be kind of nice. No burn. Are we going to see lefties on the ape? Yes. Okay, so I'm thinking that we're going to have to use... So, that Dragonite I think is banded, right? I think that the Dragonite is banded. What I'm going to do is going to be so risky. I'm going to try to win the game right now. If we can make them go like Terra normal E-Speed, we could win. Because we can Ghost Terra here and follow me forever. And then I think that this would KO the Annihilate. This Dark Pulse. It has to. Or we can like redirect a fighting attack, right? This first turn. Right, so I would love to see normal Terra Dragonite. It's such a throw from them. They don't have to do it. They don't even have to. Most Mausholds will be Ghost Terra. So this is us Terastallizing. We have a much higher base speed than both their mons on Chi-Yu. So, oh, yeah, sorry, on Maushold. Come on, show me that normal Terra. Show me that, or just go E-Speed. Just do it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Come on, go Dragonite. Do it on Dragonite. Oh, okay. Oh, the Dragonite can still lock E-Speed. Fire Terra. So we can still take this ape out, though, I think, with the Dark Pulse. It's a Life Orb to full special attack Dark Pulse. If Dragonite E-Speeds, we got shots. Let's go. No E-Speed. Oh, we didn't even get the KO on the ape, bro. That sucks. Low kick. That is redirectable. Are you Drain Punching? Oh, dude, I think we got it! Ah! I think the Dragonite's banded. I really do. I really, really think the Dragonite's banded. So, I think we win, because they locked into the wrong move. We actually just Dark Pulse again. Like, we don't want to miss a Heat Wave on that ape and have them Rage Fist us. So just make sure we're using the right move. Dude, I'll take this. I'll play to my outs. And they're probably going to protect their ape this turn and go for like a low kick, but it won't. Okay, they're not. All right, so we don't even know if the Dragonite's banded, but like, come on. That Dragonite looks so banded. They used like 2 Fire Punches and pivoted. Like, it's low kicking, bro. Show me the low kick, though. Show me the low kick, though. It could still be AV. Let's see it. Yo, we're gonna get it. Hey, dude, we played those win conditions. Follow me again. Never let them do anything. And just go TP. And that's gonna be game, right? This guy's like not like this. Dude, he could have locked himself into anything. We will take those. Banded Dragonite chose though probably one of, well, you probably had Low Kick, Fire Punch, E-Speed. If you had a Dragon Claw, should have just used it, bro. And we'll take those wins. We managed to find the win, the needle in the haystack. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to take a look at the team and we're going to fix a bunch of the EVs and all the natures and all the items and make this team actually shine. So if that's what you guys like about these videos, think about it, let me know in the comments. I know sometimes I can be a little bit harsh when like I review the teams initially, and because I have to play with them and like figure out how to like optimize them while I'm playing with them, which can be a little bit frustrating. But let me know if you guys like watching these videos, and let me know if you like the next part when we actually fix everything. So we're gonna hop into that right now. Wish me luck. Let's hop into it. So again, here is the team on paper. Just looking at the rental, it looks okay. There are a few things that definitely could be optimized. I do think that, let's see, where's the first place to start? I think you need to have a sash somewhere. I think your Life Orb could be better used somewhere else. I think the Grimmsnarl's not doing a lot for this team. There's so many Darkmons in this format, and realistically, screens just aren't that great at mitigating damage when you just bring in these these Ruin Pokemon and just shred through all the defenses. So we're going to be taking a look here at all of the EVs and everything and cleaning things up to be the best that it possibly can be. The first thing I like to do when taking a look at things is make sure that all my moves and Pokemon themselves are right. Don't need to look at Terras yet. You don't need to look at EVs or items. Just make sure that I have all the right Mons for this team. And I realistically think something like Annihilate works. Chi-Yu works because it can enable your Flutter, which is good. Shenpao works because it can enable your Annihilate, right? But this Grimmsnarl slot is really, really lacking. You're going to want something with speed control here. So I would think about putting a Tailwind user here. I think a Tailwind user would be very, very good here. There's a few good Tailwind users to choose from in this format. And realistically, like you could pick something like a Corviknight, you could pick something like a Dragonite, you could pick something like a Talonflame. I think Talonflame would go very, very well in this spot because it would let you trade effectively. You could lead very similar to the team that we fought in one of the games. You go like Talonflame in one of your Mons, you go Tailwind, drop a Mon, get a KO, and then you bring out 2 Mons and you just get 2 more KOs and the game's over. I would say Talonflame goes very, very well here, but that would make this team really, really struggle against Trick Room. So it's hard to say. I feel this team already has a really, really bad matchup against Trick Room. So what I think we're going to do, watch what we do. I do think that Talonflame is a good Mon to look at. So let's take a look at Talonflame. Talonflame also just has a good general typing for this team, makes it so your opponent wants to really overcommit with these water moves, which makes it so like you can Terastallize into other types and potentially have a good matchup there as well. So if you add Talonflame there, all our Mons seem to be in place. The next thing I usually like to take a look at is make sure my moves are right. This is a good move set. This is a good move set for what you're trying to do here. Grass is a good Terra. This is a decent moveset, but I really don't think we need the Ice Shard. I actually really like Sucker Punch here, just being able to go for like a fadeaway move. You could also put like Throat Chop or something there, but I definitely like the Sucker Punch. I really like that you did include the Sacred Sword. Sacred Sword is really good on this guy. The Maushold, I'm not a big fan of the Baby Eyes. We used it in one matchup, but I really do think that Super Fang is like the way to go. That way you can like weave in these Protects, chunk something for half and put it within range for your Flutter, your Chi-Yu, your Annihilate, all those things. I really like Super Fang in this exact regard. And then for the Flutter, this thing needs to get completely gutted, I think. We're going to move on to this one in just a sec, but we're going to take a look at the Talonflame. And I think with this team, the way you should be playing it, you want to go very, very one-dimensional. It's actually going to be very similar to the Grim. You're probably still going to run that Covert Cloak. You're going to want to run the Tailwind here. And then we're going to want to run like Flare Blitz, right? Flare Blitz, Brave Bird. And the move that makes Talonflame really work on a team like this is going to be Feint. Being able to break those Protects, break those Wide Guards, and let you just come in and go pop. Just literally start deleting things. Great partner for Shenpao, and just a really, really good, solid way to play this Pokemon. So let's go back to this Flutter main and think about what we want to do. Now we have a matchup with the Tailwind here that can enable all of our Mons to work at really, really good speed tiers. But we have a really bad matchup versus Trick Room. So I think you should change this Flutter main to an Imprison set. I think you should definitely change it to an Imprison set. Imprison Trick Room, this is what you want to do against other Trick Room teams, and you can lead like Flutter main and literally any other teammate, probably Annihilate or something like Maushold, and just go Imprison. Just start trading 1-for-1, and you're just in a really, really good spot. So this is what I would do if I was running this set. And I would also, think about changing the Terra. We'll get to that in just a sec. But yeah, this is your Trick Room matchup. This is your matchup for everything else. It gives you easy enough used flowcharts. And even in like a matchup where this is like an open team, because remember, they did take this to a regional. And they're going to be playing against and also they didn't even know that the regional was going to be open team shit. It makes sense. That's why their team looked like it did. Even if your opponent can see Imprison, you can still use that as a bluff. So like, for example, against another Trick Room team, if they see it's Imprison, they can be like, okay, are they going to go Imprison or should I just attack? Because what you can always do is go like Flutter Mane on the lead, let them Trick Room and just switch in that mouse hold on turn 1 if you're still really afraid. And so the next turn you can just go redirection, Trick Room back, and then Imprison again. So if you didn't want to go with the Imprison on first turn, because you can just click Shadow Bar Dazzling them and it's still just a really good option. So I would say this is a much better looking team on paper. I think that Steel Terra is still okay here. I like personally using like Grass or even Fire to be able to stop Wisps, but I completely understand the Steel. It makes you very, very bulky. Grass Terra is good here. If you're fine with Fire Tier, I understand it. It cuts damage from fairy attacks. It makes you immune to Wisps, so it is viable. I would think maybe about going Grass here just to make it so things like Wo Chen can't go for like Leech Seeds and stuff like that. That's just what I would do. It also makes you immune to things like Rage Powders. Ghost is good here. We already saw that won the game. Fairy is okay here. I think that we definitely want to make this I would make this a Steel Terra, and the reason you want to do that is I would be changing this potentially to a Sash on this guy, and this is going to be that big Sash, and this makes so you don't lose your Terra. Sorry, you don't lose your Sash to Sandstorm Chip from a thing like T-Tar. So that's what I would do here, and then I would make this the same Covert Cloak that you had on the Grim, and you don't need to make this a Ghost Terra. What I would be doing is probably making this into a Flying Terra, just so you can double dip if you have to be able to capitalize on the Shenpao, and obviously make this Gale Wings to boost the priority for Brave Birds and Tailwinds. Another thing as well is similar to what we did in one of those other games. You can just Ice Shard or Fate those Talonflames to break their Gale Wings, so you can KO them with your teammates. It's actually really, really cool. So that being said, now it's time to take a look at the rest of our items here. I don't think that you need a Life Orb on this thing, especially because we're not ending our HP in the right number to maximize how much damage we're taking. I think realistically, you can definitely change this. This is where I would think maybe about putting your vest. I think an Assault Vest on Chi Yu can be very, very good if played the right way. And then we could put the Life Orb on something like the Shenpao. And a good thing about Life Orb as well is, a good rule of thumb is Life Orb is a really good item, right? It gives you a 1.3 boost to all your attacks. But it gets even better the more different types of offensive coverage you have, the different moves that you have if you have multiple stab moves. Something like Chi Yu is a good Pokemon for Life Orb because it had 3 distinct different options, but it has such a low base HP, you're basically just shooting yourself in the foot with it. I think Shenpao's a very good Life Orb user. Another one would be Talonflame, and then maybe put in like the Covert Cloak and the Chi Yu, but I like this a lot better. So I would put the Life Orb here and just be able to go delete things. It's really, really good. Another thing you can also do is like use Ice Spinner to make it so you can use your Talonflame later to take away those Psychic terrains. So it's really, really good stuff so far. And let's start taking a look at some of these EVs. So Annihilate, right? It's a good rule of thumb whenever you're building to usually put points in HP first. And that becomes a problem when your HP stat gets so bloated that it's double the respective defense. You would get diminishing returns in that situation. So I've explained this before. I usually like to explain this by using a Hitmonchan, because everyone knows what Hitmonchan is, and for those of you guys that have seen this before, this will only take me a second, but you set this to 50, you give it close combat, and the thing that I like to hit is a Tyrogue. Tyrogue is the unevolved form of Hitmonchan. Everyone knows Tyrogue as well. And the reason we use Tyrogue as an example is because it has 35 base across the board. And so we're going to show why you normally want to put points in HP. So if we put all our points in HP, 252, this low roll, which when you're looking as the attacker, you want to see how much the low roll is. When you're looking at the defender, you want to see how much the high roll is to see how much you can eat. Since we're looking at from Hitmonchan's side, it already gets the KO at 140, right? Or 140% of the damage. If we were to put points in that HP, it goes from 140 to 108. So that's about 31.6% damage mitigated from that 140. And so if we were to take those same points and put them in defense, it'd go from 140 to 88. That's almost half, right? That's a lot more damage mitigated. And you may think, why am I not putting points just in defense and Spadef, like you did on the Annihilate? That's how that Annihilate was submitted. It had points in both defense and Spadef. And the reason why you don't want to do that is because you mitigate that same initial percent that we mitigated off this first one by putting in HP to both your defense and your special defense at the same time. It's not as effective, but it covers a wider variety of moves. It just gives you more intangibles. You live a lot more stuff by putting points in HP first. And so that can get out of hand when you take into account like maybe making this into like a Blissey, for example. Let's set this to a Blissey. Let's set this to level 50. And so if we're to put those same points in defense, it goes from 170 on the Blissey to 82. That's like a lot. That's like a lot of damage still mitigated on the Blissey. That's so much damage. If we put those same points in HP, it goes from 170 to 155. That's nothing. And that's because Blissey's base HP is so high that you get diminishing returns. It's a 255 base HP versus a 10, right? And so taking a look back at this post, or sorry, taking a look back at the team over here, Annihilape has one of those really, really high base HPs to where if we were just to go like this, we would be wasting points. 217 is double what 100 is. So it's not as effective to put all your points in HP, but you want to put some in HP. Another thing as well, EVs work a little bit differently at level 50 than they do at level 100. The first 4 matter, and then after that, it's multiples of 8. So 4 gives you something like you can see, 12 gives you something, 20 gives you something, 28 gives you something. We're going all the way up. You can see 126 is not one of those multiples, right? So 124 gives you something. It would be at 116 here. But you see, if I made this 124 into 126, it's wasting points, right? It's not doing anything. 128 is the exact same thing. Like, so like basically 124 is the threshold. 128 still not giving you anything. 130 is not giving you anything. You have to go all the way to 32 to do it. So 126 is that little no man's land where you're wasting points. You can even cut that 126 into 2 copies of 124, and then you have an extra like points to put somewhere else. You have an extra 4 points. I think we had nothing here, right? We have an extra right there. So see, we have an extra 4 that you can then put in there if you wanted to be just a little bit more optimal. But obviously, we're gonna be able to change this a lot. I also don't think you need like max HP on your ape. Max attack on your ape at all. What I think you should be doing with this ape, the first thing you should always be doing whenever you're taking a look at a Pokemon, you want to make sure your speed stat is what you want it to be. So with our speed stat right here, we want to make sure that it functions inside of Tailwind. So we want to go to a damage calculator for that and see what we are outspeeding. So Annihilape, plug that in right here. And you guys, feel free to let me know if I'm going too fast or if there's something you want me to double go back on, maybe cover another video if I'm not being as, you know, direct as you guys might need to be for this sort of stuff. But basically, this is going to double in the Tailwind to, not +3, +2, right? So what does that outspeed? It outspeeds most things in the format. And you can check what it actually outspeeds and what the speed tiers are by going and just sorting everything on Showdown by base speed. So you can see things like Electro, Dragapult, Barraskewda, Bundle. Bundle's probably the most realistic thing, Dragapult as well. Let's take a look at what Dragapult looks like, because no one's really going to be running Electro. So just go down to a regular Dragapult. Blank set, be sure to set it to 50 and plug in like a full speed set on this Dragapult. And this is how you guys can be running your own calcs in your own games too. Let's make it a Jolly one. And so Jollypult's gonna be 213. So we need to get to 214, which Annihilape does with 0 investment, which is great. So let's start thinking, what are some other mons that we really want to outspeed with this Annihilape? Let's go back to the team builder and scroll down and see, are there any other things that maybe at like a +1, we would still outspeed at +2? So like, let's take a look at like Roaring Moon. Let's plug in a Roaring Moon and see what that looks like. So Roaring Moon's right here. What would like a full speed Roaring Moon look like? Because Roaring Moon could definitely have that acrobatics and stuff like that to outspeed us. Be sure to set it to level 50 as always. And if you give it a +1 from its booster energy, they're really fast. They're way faster than we are at a +2. So we would need a lot of points to outspeed something like that. We need basically full investment. We need to like 244. Is that worth outspeeding? I don't think it is. Let's check out a couple other Pokemon that could potentially get a +1 speed that we'd be able to outspeed. Let's go a lot slower. Let's see. What are Sandy Shocks? Maybe. Sandy Shocks is like a 101. Let's just see what that would look like. So 2v2, a lot faster. Still way too fast, by the way. Go down a little bit. We're going down. Sugar, we're going down. And we don't have any other ways to get, like, you know, Icy Winds up to change these calcs, so it doesn't really matter. But we're still looking like maybe like a Goldango at +1. Goldango would be something like an 84 base speed. And 84 goes up to 388. That's not right. Let's just plug in the Goldango and show you. Goldango. right, so a Gholdengo with like full investment on like a timid set. Maybe it is right. No, it's going to be level 50. 223. So we can outspeed a full speed Gholdengo. And I think that's definitely something that is worth outspeeding at +2. So we only need to get 12 points to be able to do that, right? And it's not that, like, how uncommon is this? It's relatively uncommon, but being able to outspeed those Scarf and knowing your thresholds is very, very important here. There's no way that a Gholdengo can ever outspeed your Nihlip if you have Tailwind up, if they don't have speed control, which is really, really good. So it only takes 12 points. It only takes 12 points to do that. All right, so we move our 12 there. And you may be thinking like, all right, well then what do you want to do with the rest of these stats? What I like to do with Annihilape is I like to put a bulk of my stats in a Spadef and make ourselves really, really thick. And then from there, use the rest of our stats in a mixture of like HP, attack, and defense. I still like to put my nature in attack because you get a 10% boost to whatever your nature is, and a 10% boost to 115 is much higher than a 10% boost to 90 or 80. So you still want to be that adamant nature. And then from there, we can realistically just throw something like a 204 here and make sure we're not getting diminishing returns on whatever these numbers is. So probably like something like a 36. So it's going to be 44, 198. Or 196, sorry. So you can see, if we were to double this number, it wouldn't be half of, sorry, if we were to double this defense, it wouldn't be half of what our HP is. We're not getting diminishing returns there, not getting diminishing returns on specialty, and we still have 4 more points to put into our attack stats, so we're using all of our points effectively. So this is the most effective way to use this, and also, this makes us really bulky on the Spadef side, bulky enough on the defensive side. We still have bulk up if we want to use it as well, and we still have enough attack to actually be a bully. And now it's in that weird situation where our base attack is so high that you don't ever actually need to fully invest into it. It's better to soak damage, reply back, get those big drain punches off, than to just try and one-shot something before you even had speed control. This is a much better way to do it. Chi-Yu with an Assault Vest. So again, we want to take and change a little bit of these moves. I think there's 3 or 4 different moves we can put for this last spot on Chi-Yu. I think most people go Snarl here. But I think for the team that we're going to want to do, I think we go with the Flame Charge. I think Flame Charge is actually really cool, being able to give us those +1s in those situations. Really, really nice. The last thing we do need to change, though, if we're going to be using this, we need to move a lot of our stats around. And so let's plug in a Chi-Yu here and see how fast we are. Chi-Yu. And be sure to set to 50. So what does Chi-Yu outspeed? It's a base 100, which is probably the benchmark for something fast. If anything's faster than base 100, I would say that's a fast Pokemon. Anything slower than base 100, maybe even slower than a 95 is a slow Pokemon. So Chi-Yu at its +2, it gets to 240, which is faster than Nihlip. We're still really, really fast there. But our +1 calcs are worth taking a look at. 180 is the +1 calc. And just for reference, if we were to take a look at other Pokemon that are fast in this format, 180 lets you outspeed a lot of stuff. 180 is right around that Maushold, Screamtail, Lycanroc area. So let's plug in like a Lycanroc, which I think is 112. Lycanroc Speed, which is the Sand Rush one. So if you were matching it with your Tailwind or something like they don't have their stand up, they're gonna be something like, I think it's 181, if we're calculating it correctly. 180. So we need to get to 181 to do that. So that's all we need on this guy, is to get 4 points in speed. And then we can outspeed off a +1 from a Flame Charge. So if we read them switching in, we can Flame Charge, break their sash, and then KO them with something else. And it's really, really good. So 4 points is all we need there, which means we're afforded the luxury, right, of going for like a 252 in HP, and you want to put those points in that HP. You don't even want to split them up because our base HP is so low. Remember, we're talking about diminishing returns, and now you want to put those points in those stats that have such low bases. It's going to do so much more work for us. We're afforded the luxury of going Modest here, and very, very simple EV spread. If you wanted to actually take and go like this too, you could. You could take and go 244 here and split these up into a 4-4, cut up that last 8 and go like that. I think something like this works very, very nice in this format, and it's a cool way to play Chi-Yu. Very, very bulky, and it's technically fast enough. It's not super fast, but it is fast enough to work, and it just works great. Shenpao, a very, very simple mon. You want to take and put this literally anywhere else because you're going to be you're just basically going to get one shot of everything. I would just put it into Spadef probably, since it's the lower stat. And you still need to be full speed on Shenpao. I think it's a very, very standard mon. You need to be full speed, and yeah, very, very easy spread. Nothing really to write home on. Shenpao, just solid. This guy, though, you're wasting points here a little bit. I like that you're optimizing HP and Spadef on Maushold. I would do the exact same thing, but what I would do is I would heavily optimize for Spadef. I'm talking something like this. I would run this guy like this. And the reason we want to do it like this as well, just a little word of wisdom, right? If you can throw 60 points into a respective defensive stat, you're going to throw off your opponent's calcs by about 5%. And so you want to heavily block special attacks, because special attacks are what the meta is all built around. Anything you're going to be afraid of with this team is going to be special attacks. Things like Dazzling Gleam, Hyper Voices, Make It Rains. Those are all AoE special attacks. Maushold needs to be able to soak that damage to actually stick on the board long enough. So by putting your points in Spadef, you're doing that right. Also good against things like Iron Bundle and stuff. You can always Ghost Terra to be able to avoid a lot of those big, fighting attacks that would normally give you a lot of problems. So, and those are all physical and stuff like that. So you're better off putting most of your points in Spadef. But those 60 points of defense are going to throw off your opponent's calcs by about 5%. And so if they're just calced to KO 252 HP Maushold, you might be able to live some moves on the physical side that you wouldn't normally be able to live. We don't need to put any points into speed on this Maushold because we already outspeed everything else we need to. Note that we still outspeed our Annihilate, we still outspeed our Chi-Yu, and we can still just Super Fang before those Mons and be in a very, very good spot. So that's what I would do with this Maushold set, and you don't need to split things up. The last thing that I would probably do is actually, I would go like this and make it so you take less damage from your beat-ups onto your Annihilate, but that's a very, very slight optimization that you don't really need to do in-game if you don't have the tools. But making yourself 0 IV in attack with an attack-reduced nature is making it so you deal less damage to your Annihilate with your Super Fang. Or sorry, with your beat-up. With this thing, very, very simple EV spread. You just want to take a 4 out of Spadef because it's already such a bloated stat. Put it in HP, very similar to like Chi-Yu. Put those points in HP first. Otherwise, good set. And Talonflame. Talonflame is one of those Pokemon that you can usually click the button and get a decent enough spread here. Talonflame, I think, still needs to be full speed. The Pokemon that it outspeeds are things like Kilowattrel and Meowscarada. And you can take a little bit of speed out and still do that. But I think guaranteeing outspeeding the things that speed creep Meowscarada is a reason enough to go max speed on your Talonflame. Also, it forces your other Talonflames to be the same speed tier. And for everyone looking at this and thinking, why aren't you running Will-O-Wisp? That's the move that people run on Talonflame. This team is not optimized to play a long game. This team is here for a short time, not a long time. We're trying to win games within 3 to 4 turns. And so I like this EV spread a lot more. And yeah, just a very, very standard Talonflame set. What we're going to do now is go play a couple games on Showdown just to get you guys, seeing how I would pilot the team after we made these changes, and hopefully we get some big wins out of it. So wish me luck. Here we go. All right, so we're looking at this, and yeah, I think the Slitherwing is such an underrated pick in this format. It's such an underrated pick. Mimikyu is also a very, very solid mon on this team. Let's see, what do we really want to get done here? I think against Lilycole, I think Maushold is a great lead, and I do still think that there is potential for Trick Room here, so I would still bring Fluttermane, just as a standard good mon. You can go against so many good things like it. You can also just lead Ape to try and get them to go like big Arcanine Defiant proc. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's try the Ape, let's bring the Fluttermane in the back, and then I don't hate Talonflame here. Like Brave Bird, like those are good Brave Bird targets. Yeah, let's go Talonflame in the back. Talonflame's just a good mon. So Dragonite and Torkoal. Okay. Very, very unique. We got Mouse Ape. And so against this board, let's think about what we want to get done. I think that they might be like a Yawn Torkoal. I don't think there's an issue with like beat up here. Like beat up into the Ape is just super, super solid. And then you can just Rage Fist the Torkoal. You don't get any KOs here, but you're going to solidify enough damage into that Torkoal slot. And yes, the Dragonite that turn could have totally went like Flying Terra, and it could have totally popped off. I don't think it's the biggest deal. Tailwind should be fine, and that's another reason why we have Talonflame in the back. No burn, please. Awesome. So we're really, really thick here. I think in this exact situation, we can just go for a Protect Super Fang, get our leftovers ticking. See how this works? We're playing the game at our tempo now. And I really like this Super Fang change. It's going to be able to break that multi-scale. And we're just in a really, really good spot. And then next turn, we'll go for that follow me play and just be in an even better spot, right? So we missed the Super Fang. Unlucky, bro. Very, very unlucky. We're going to go for the follow me here. And I think you can just Drain Punch away that Torkoal. Block this. Yeah, it sucks. Like, imagine if that Dragonite was already at half. It would have broke the multi-scale. Would have been a really good spot. Annihilate, though, is getting kind of set. So we're doing okay here. And let's see what they want to bring out. It's going to be Slither, right? Awesome. That's fine. That's absolutely positively fine. We have to block the first impression here, so I don't think there's a problem with the double protect. This is also the last turn of their Tailwind, so like next turn what we can do. Flying. They do go flying. Now watch what we do here. We're going to wait out all this stuff. Their best play is to do something like a bulk up here, I think, and read that. First impression blocked. Easy peasy. We're just going to go for a Super Fang. Let me actually check this out. We are faster than their Dragonite, right? If we scroll all the way up here into the showdown, we are faster than their Dragonite. So what we can do here is just go for the Super Fang. Hopefully we hit, right? And just a Rage Fist. And just absolutely get this guy off the board. As long as we hit the Super Fang. Yeah. Cool. Easy peasy. So breaking that multi-scale, Rage Fist finishes it off, and we're in a good spot. They do have the Photosynthesis attack. Flame Charge is such a good move. See other people using Flame Charge. Good stuff. Sun's over, though. And we have all these other monsters in the back. And now, see, we talked about the value of Talonflame, bringing it out in the back. Talonflame solidifying these. They're going to activate our Defiant. Yes, please. And, yeah, let's actually think about what the right play is here. I don't think there's an issue with doubling into Slitherwing. Even if you went for like a Protect Slitherwing Flare or Will-O-Wisp there, I still think our Annihilape's like really, really cracked. Yeah. Big damage. Oko, because we got that full attack investment. And they do miss the Wisp. They miss the Wisp, and we take those wins. So really, really good first game. Like, we did everything that we needed to do right. We led correctly. We even got a little bit unlucky with the Super Fang, but you do see the value of the Super Fang now. And we just played really, really patiently. These slight changes that we made to the Annihilape made us soak a lot more damage, made us deal still the same amount of damage. We weren't really getting any Okos that we wouldn't have gotten if we had that 2v2 investment. And we were able to 100% allow them to get up speed control, deal with it, and then punish them once their speed control went away. Right? I think these are really, really solid changes, and we're going to go into one more game and see if we can get another win. Oh man, another Slitherwing. Call an ambulance, but not for me. So they have a lot more aggressive tendencies here. They also have a Klefki to be able to screen up. I don't think that's going to be super, super good. I think Chiyu's a good lead here. I like Chiyu versus a lot of these. They have multiple different Tailwind setters, and so what I would do here is allow them to get up Tailwind. Like, I would allow the Tailwind here. I would do something like this, and then keep Tailwind in the back, and then we apply Tailwind in the late game. And then maybe, do I want Shenpao or Flutter? Flutter's okay. Annihilape's still okay as well. I'm actually going to bring the Annihilape in the back here. I think Annihilape's a good last mon to bring in the back. For, if they actually have a passive turn, like if they have a really passive turn, like that's a pretty passive looking turn. We can just like hard switch in our Annihilape and beat up it turn 1. Yeah, that's a great play. And if you want a first impression of the Chiyu, I don't think that gets the KO that they think it gets. We also have like the Friend Guard. I don't think they one-shot our Maushold either, unless they have like a Life Orb or like a bug boosting item, which I don't think I've actually seen in this format. The best thing they can realistically do is like, what are they gonna do? Light Screen? There's the Light Screen. We're forcing that Light Screen out. Bulk Up, absolutely fine. I don't really care. So free turn into this. Like that's a really, really passive turn from them. We're just going to let them get their screens up and play the game at the tempo that we want it to. Okay, and let's actually take a look at what we want to do here. So you see the value of Super Fang. I can just click Rage Fist into this and Super Fang it, and we're probably fine. They can go for a Reflect, but I still think we're going to have enough damage to probably get it taken care of. I don't want to trade Bulk Ups. We could also lead into a board state where, hey, good play from them. Nice Protect. Are they going for the Reflect? Okay. So they see what we want to do now. I'm going to take this a lot more passive now, based off how they're playing this. I'm going to go for Bulk Ups, and I'm going to try and wait out their screens, because I think what they're going to do is something like Thunder Wave here, Protect, Thunder, Sunny Day, wow, okay. I don't want them to take up my Maushold. You can Leech Life that, it doesn't do any damage, right? Because this guy is only going to have 2, it's going to have Fighting Attacks, Leech Life, Protect, and Bulk Up, right? So we already know that, so we don't have to. Another thing I want to get you guys to understand as well. You maybe think like, how does that just know all this stuff? You have to think about what your opponent can do with the tools that they have. The second I saw that Bulk Up, I'm like, okay, cool. Bulk Up, Protect, Bug Attack, probably Fighting Attack. That's its last stab. It could have a Fire Attack if it wanted, but it probably doesn't, right? So in that situation, think about what your opponent can do with the tools that they have. In reality, if I don't let them break us, we're going to be in a really, really good spot. We don't need to go after anything, really. That Klefki's probably switching, so we can actually read them switching out. I'm going to Rage Fist the Klefki and try and pin a Ceruledge on the switch. And in this situation, I can just go for a Super Fang. Okay, Close Combat's fine. I can't do anything about that. Like, there's nothing I can do about that. It's absolutely fine. Rage Fist, Oko's Klefki. And so at this point, we can just kind of wait out a little bit of what they're doing. Let's see. We could come in and set screens. It wouldn't be bad. They have the stat drops. I think that Talonflame is a good mon here. And bring that Chi-Yu in the very back. Because we don't want to cut our Annihilape Spit F if they bring out something good. There's the Talonflame trades. Look at these boards. Now it's scary looking here. But I don't think we actually need to do anything weird. I think you can actually still Rage Fist and just go for the Tailwind. And we also have that Feint if they want to start playing a little bit more of a longer game. I think this is a good spot for us. I think we still Oko their Talonflame. And if they can't go Tailwind and Wisp at the same time. So we're in a pretty good spot here. I think Annihilape will trade very, very well into that Slitherwing. The others protect and we don't have to care. Tailwind's up. Tailwind's up. Now this should also maybe put their Talonflame, yeah, just Okos, bro. Nice Tailwind. And then it really depends on what their last mon is here. Shenpao is a very, very good last mon to see for them. But we have our Talonflame still very, very set. And they just shredded their defense. So, looks like they don't have... We just go for double protect. Ooh, we don't double protect. I think we protect Annihilape, hard switch in the Chi-Yu, let it go down to the double dip, and then bring out our Talonflame and just one-shot that Slitherwing. Or we could just double into the Slitherwing because it's protects on cooldown. We could actually just go Drain Punch into the Shenpao and a Feint into that slot. Feint's good, breaks potential sash. Throat Chop's fine, does not get the KO that they need. Bulk up again, bro. That ain't it, Chief. Big DP. Give me that health back, baby. You see how easy it is? Like, there's not that much they can do. This team now, because we made the change to Talonflame, we just get to absolutely, like, destroy everything. There's no more Reflect. They take the scoop, and the changes that we made are so impactful. And they're easy changes, right? We just added Talonflame, we fixed what Annihilape brought to the table, and we gave ourselves good matchup for Trick Room. We fixed our ability to actually have presence on the board with Mousehold. Chi-Yu became more of a defensive pivot that can then repin things that we needed to repin. And Shenpao, we gave it a Life Orb, so actually if we need to use Shenpao to get a little bit extra damage off like a Flying Terra, Talonflame, like big Brave Bird, we actually can still get those KOs. So now we can like threaten Amoonguss just a little bit more as well. So those are the changes that I would make, and hopefully you guys like this video. Again, we're trying to get every single video to 100 likes if we can. If you guys stayed this whole time, think about leaving a like, think about leaving a comment, letting me know if you guys like these little team building videos where I fix the submitted teams from Patreon. And again, if you guys want to send in your teams, even the lowest tier gets access to everything in the Patreon, all the team building fixings, any tournaments we're running, as well as all the different teams that I post on Patreon that aren't on YouTube. Every day, basically, I post a brand new team that's just an idea that I'm working with. So if you guys want to see, you know, my own personal thoughts on the format that don't get always made into videos, think about joining the Patreon. It's $2. It really does help me out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And other than that, peace out. I'll see you guys next time.